Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For all of you who know me or start to get to know me, you know that I am simply well-rounded. From a talented artist where I pay attention to close details when I paint or sketch, I love to read hardcover books, even if I have to look up closely. I chose to pursue a career in architecture studies. I film and edit and take my own photography. But amongst all that, there's more to me. One aspect of my life that I have not shared yet, that is largely a part of my life that I most of the time never consider it to be, is my visual impairment. On my channel, I have never been vulnerable about this topic or talk about it much or made it a point to make it fully known to you guys that I am legally blind, which I'm not sure quite why that is, but I make content giving advice, encouragement, showing my lifestyle, showing what I go through or gone through in my faith journey, and just ran with that. But what I neglected and forgot or didn't even make it a priority to bring to your attention or give others encouragement on is my legal blindness. At this point, I long to take the opportunity to make you guys aware that I have a visual impairment, and that is a part of my life, and I would like to encourage other people who also have a disability or legally blind. But it's so funny how even years back when I wanted to start my channel and now, I was reluctant or didn't even consider to talk about it, to make it known, to make content about what I go through, how I navigate this world, what I might experience being visually impaired, until now. Now, as I am 20 years old, soon to be 21, I am now fully content and confident in who I am, all inclusively, and that is with low vision. So in my day-to-day, I never think of my visual impairment. For me, it's sometimes like a mind over matter, sort of, and it could be ironic, but so I guess that could be a reason why as well, as to why I didn't make it known. But now all I could simply say is that God is just so good. Growing up from toddler to adult at 20 years old now, I could just see the beauty of it and the strength and the growth that God has given me through having a visual impairment, a disability, or being unique in this way. God has just fully showed me the greatness of having a visual impairment. I thrive and just am confident in my uniqueness, because what makes me unique is that I don't rely solely on my vision to see. I use my heart and my mind to see the beauty within people, the beauty within like my circumstance, environment, this world. So that is new, exciting, and different for me, being that it is my first time bringing up my visual impairment on my channel, or even acknowledging it, really, because in my day-to-day I don't really think about it. Even down to when I meet people for the first time, or making friendships, or any activity that I'm a part of, or whatever I put my mind to, I never first say, "Hi, I'm Kayla, I have a visual impairment." And it's not even a thing of being embarrassed or insecure about it. I mean, while I was younger, I might have been embarrassed about it in elementary, middle, maybe even high school. But soon, as of junior year of high school and on, yeah, like I grew into it, became confident in it. And I would love to bring that to topics of discussion for future videos. So as ironic as that might be, I never think of my visual impairment or being legally blind to be the focal point of my life. I always think of it as a secondary priority, or like, oh yeah, by the way, type of thing. The way I manage or carry myself by having a visual impairment is I just simply just live life. So I guess that was part of my struggle in bringing up this topic into content, into videos, into bringing awareness to it, is because I had to really sit and think back, and I really was wrapping my mind around it and really overthinking this. But just to sit back and think, okay, if you could explain to someone how you live your life, how would you? Because since I just live my life and just do it and just live in my own way, and I learned to be different, and I will do things differently and am different, it was really a struggle for me to think about how to explain that. But all through my life, since as young as I can remember, I always just did my own thing. Whatever I literally put my mind to, I always just chase it, go for it, and all the more when my faith grew in God. Like even down to first grade when I started cheerleading, I knew like at that point I did struggle a little bit in like visually, but I just learned to just adapt, and I was even the main base and stunted, and maybe I didn't even see the crowd, but I just did what I had to do and did it differently. I still love to do the moves and dance and all that, so I just did it. And from first grade to senior year of high school, I was a cheerleader, had a great bond, and I literally fit in. Even down to art. I mean, God must be behind that, because to draw great details always, since like elementary school, even third grade, or even in first grade, like I remember the aftercare teachers would say, "Wow, Kayla, how did you draw such great detail in those trees if you can't see?" And I'm like, I don't know, I just did it. So most of the time when I like can up close see textures of like wood floors or leaves or trees, when I'm drawing, I use my imagination to draw what I see in my mind. So I'm always able to freehand draw, or look at something and draw it. So So it's just small things like that where I put my mind to and just do it. And it's small things like academically, I always had struggles with sitting in the front row and maybe not even being able to see then. Growing up, I had an asset, I guess, to this, to have a child study team by my side academically, or when it came to college, the disability services where I had extra time on tests or different accommodations. So those accommodations really looked out. These glasses help tremendously. Like all my life I was able to wear a pair of glasses with my visual impairment, so that helps a lot where I don't need a cane on my day-to-day. But that's sort of how I manage or live my day-to-day. And as you guys see in my vlogs, I still like go out. Most people think it's funny because they would say that I live like a sighted person. Like I don't even have visual impairment. What is that? Who is she? You know, anywho. So yeah, like that's sort of the way I live my life, like a sighted person. And when I do have struggles, I just use my personal accommodations. And I don't want anyone who has a disability or visual impairment who may use a walking cane or aren't as mobile themselves, or glasses don't help them. Like I don't want this video to be like a comparison in a way, or me saying that I am able to like disguise, quote unquote, my visual impairment. That's not my intention at all. Just to disclaim, I'm confident in my visual impairment or my disability in the way that when I live my day-to-day, I don't allow it to be a crutch or a hindrance for my own personal goals. And God just brings me through. Plenty of times where if I'm traveling alone, I can't see. But I would love to talk in future videos about how I go through certain things in life and bring up my struggles or challenges in life being visual impaired. All right, now diving into the background story of my visual impairment and the extent of my legal blindness. So, like I emphasize, these glasses are a miracle. Like such a blessing. It's such a important tool in my life that I'm so grateful for. Without it, I can't see a thing. So starting from the beginning, since I was born, I am a twin. So my twin and I were premature 3 months from our due date. So since birth, I always had low vision and visual impairment. Like I do believe that at first my parents were not aware of this, but I think it was not until first grade that I got my first pair of glasses. So I will ask my mom like for confirmation, but I believe from birth to kindergarten I did not have glasses. Yeah, so my glasses have helped like tremendously. Before then I literally had visual defects, which I guess that led my parents to believe that something was going on. Yeah, so my parents did say that in the first year I did have something called dancing eyes, where my eyes would shake, and then they just stopped after a year, and then that's when later in life it was known or revealed that I have a visual impairment. So the extent of my legal blindness is that I am near and farsighted, so I do have issues seeing like from a far distance and like up close. So from afar, like everything is like just extremely blurry, and when reading, like I can still read things from like up close without my glasses, that is. So I can still see things like extremely close. I can then see textures and yeah, things just become clearer. And then I do have no depth perception. So that's the ability to tell how close or far objects are from one another. So say if someone is throwing a ball to me, I can't tell how close or fast it's coming, like the ball can just go right past me. So with my vision being so low, like that did make things hard, like drawing per se, or doing a sport, or like in the classroom, or just the day-to-day life, like telling how many stairs are below me when I'm walking down the steps. I mean, because of my vision, I did chip both of my 2 front teeth. Thank God it was able to be bonded so nicely. And I'll say that for other story times, but I chipped my teeth twice by my vision, even with my glasses. That was like in elementary school. Now that I am an adult now, and I've learned to navigate this world in my own personal way and how it works for me, and having a disability or a visual impairment, yeah, like I've now learned the ropes, where I now am confident in traveling alone, or just doing certain things, being independent with my friends, or just being confident in flying out to different states, or going to the store, or ordering food, or just advocating for myself. Oh, I can't see the menu, can you read these options? Or just using my phone or different devices, and relying on like my hearing and other senses sometimes, and not my vision. For example, if someone's calling my name, like I identify the person by like their voice sometimes, to recognize their voice, then like who it is I'm looking at. And people soon understand that like I can't see them from a certain distance. But I find my weak areas to be where I'm strong, because I'm strong in God, and I'm just certain that His plan, His goodwill is just amazing, and I just lean on that and surrender in that. And I find it to be my greatest strength, because every day in the difficult time or the challenges that I may endure, like visually, that the goodness of God can be recognized or revealed. And even like I started out this video, the fact that I have the abilities and confidence to study in a major like architecture, where many people found it to be outrageous or discouraged me from getting into a demanding field like as such. Not only is it visually demanding, but there's a lot that's required. So with my vision, it could be an issue. Or drawing, my artistic ability with drawing, painting in many mediums, and even film and editing. Like this all requires highly detail oriented, basically, in every single thing. It's in all that I do with a disability, is where God is just, His goodness could just shine. I personally, in my personality, never wanted to limit myself, and I still don't. I never boxed myself in. I love to adapt, change, and try new things, no matter the struggle or the challenges that I'm gonna face. I just learned to just jump over it and lean on the Lord. So with that, whenever I put my mind to it, I just had the inner motivation where I just went for it and just did it, no matter if I have issues seeing or whatever the struggle I have visually. It just never really was a priority for me. I just, like, I'm gonna do it. So by my visual impairment, that just reminds me of how much of a miracle worker God is, and His strength, His faithfulness, and His goodness in my life every single day, and how what He does in my life can really impact others positively. So that is the drive to why I am making it a point to just open up and bring this up and make it known on my channel, because that is a part of my life, and that is my life story. Well, partial, not my whole life story, but that is a part of me that makes me Kayla who I am, and it is a huge aspect. I mean, I sometimes don't consider it to be, but it is. So my goal with making this video, how God wrote visual impairment into my story, and making plenty of other content on this channel in regards to disabilities or visual impairment, is to encourage others, to encourage people who have a disability or visual impairment. You can do whatever you put your mind to. You know your strength, you know your abilities and you can work around and work with your disability and your visual impairment. I also want to be relatable to people who have a disability or visual impairment, where I can relate to the challenges you may face or the comical moments you may go through or all the things that come with illegal blindness. I just want to relate and be able to share my experience, my day-to-day, my story, what I've gone through, what I've overcome with it, with others, and hoping that it encourages. And last, I want to bring awareness to legal blindness or a disability to many who may not know what a visually impaired child, teen, adult person may face. So that is my little story or explanation of my visual impairment, and just sort of announcing and letting you guys know and making it fully aware that I have a visual impairment. I feel like that's something that shouldn't really be neglected, or I should continue on my channel without mentioning. So I hope this encouraged somebody, and if you guys know someone who has a disability, visual impaired, I would like you to share this video with them. And yeah, I think it'll be exciting to make more content. That's a little bit about me, a little part of me that I never really mentioned. Well, I did a here and there, and that is my story. God is good, and I'm just thankful for each and every day and for my uniqueness. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys at my next video. Don't forget to check out my Instagram at Good Vibes with K for more day-to-day behind the scenes. This week, this Friday, I am going on a vacation, so I'm going to be doing daily recaps there and kind of like live footage on my stories and posts. So I would love for you guys to be a part and come see. And thank you guys for being here. So go check that out, and I'll see you guys at my next video. Bye. So I also made iced coffee for the first time, and it really is not that bad. Like, I did a good job, I think. So probably in a future video I'll show you guys how I made some iced coffee. It's like really good. So, you know, a little at home, not DIY, but a how-to. Anywho, I got a blast. See you guys.